You swing your legs out of bed, just like you've done for decades. But today, something feels off. Your knees ache a little. Your legs feel heavy, like they belong to someone else. You grip the nightstand, steady yourself, and take a deep breath before standing. Not because of pain, but because your body doesn't feel as strong as it used to. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not your fault. Here's something most people don't talk about. After the age of 60, your muscles naturally begin to lose strength. Not all at once, not in some dramatic way, but little by little, in quiet, subtle ways. Like how you walk slower, how lifting a laundry basket feels heavier, or how getting out of a car takes more effort than it used to. You might brush it off as just aging, but the real reason? Your muscles aren't getting what they need, especially during the one time they need it most, while you sleep. That's the part no one really tells you. Most of your muscle repair doesn't happen at the gym or on your morning walk. It happens at night, when you're resting, breathing deeply, and your body finally has the chance to rebuild. But here's the catch: your body can only rebuild if it has the right building blocks in the first place. And for many of us, especially after 60, we're not feeding our muscles what they need to heal. I once spoke to a retired postal worker named Bill. He said, "I walk every day. I eat pretty clean. So why do I still feel so weak in the morning?" It wasn't about what he was doing during the day. It was about what he wasn't doing at night. So what can you do? Nothing drastic, no supplements, no complicated routines, just a few gentle, nourishing foods right before bed can make a real difference. Foods that tell your body, it's okay to rest now, I've got what you need to heal. We'll explore 4 of these foods today, each backed by science and, more importantly, real stories from people just like you. Let's start with something simple, something small. It's fuzzy on the outside, sweet and tangy on the inside, and it just might be the most overlooked secret to better sleep and stronger mornings. Let me introduce you to the humble kiwi. 1. Kiwi, the little fruit that helps you sleep and heal. You know that feeling when you wake up, and instead of feeling rested, you feel stiff, like your body spent the whole night clenching instead of relaxing. Your legs don't feel quite steady. Your arms move a little slower. You sit there on the edge of the bed, thinking, did I even sleep at all? That was George's story. George is 74, widowed, a retired high school history teacher from Ohio. One evening, over a cup of chamomile tea, he told me, "I go to bed early. I don't wake up in pain exactly, but I wake up feeling old." I asked him to try one small change. Eat 2 kiwis about an hour before bed. That's it. Nothing fancy. No pills. No powders. 2 weeks later, George called and said, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually feel lighter in the morning. My legs don't groan like they used to. I sleep better, deeper. I wake up like myself again." So what's the secret? Kiwi isn't just a tasty fruit you toss into a summer salad. It's one of the few foods that naturally contains melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. Many people buy melatonin supplements, but kiwi gives it to you gently, the way nature intended. And it doesn't stop there. Kiwi is rich in vitamins C and E, powerful antioxidants that help reduce inflammation in your muscles. That morning stiffness? That's often your body's way of saying, "Hey, I'm still dealing with damage from yesterday." Antioxidants help sweep that damage away, so your muscles can heal instead of just survive. Kiwi also gives you potassium, a mineral that helps your muscles relax and contract properly. If you've ever had a leg cramp at 3 a.m. that nearly launched you out of bed, you know how important that is. And here's something else older adults love. Even though it tastes sweet, kiwi has a low glycemic index. That means it won't spike your blood sugar or mess with your insulin, something that's especially important if you're managing diabetes or pre-diabetes. So how do you try it? Pick up a few ripe kiwis at your local grocery store. Eat 2 with the skin peeled about an hour before bed. Pair it with a quiet book, soft music, or a little moment of peace. Make it a ritual, a signal to your body. Rest is coming. You are cared for. And if your stomach is sensitive to fruit acids, start with 1 kiwi and see how your body feels. But for most people, kiwi is gentle, even soothing. So that's your first step, a small, green fruit with a big nighttime job. But what if your body also needs something more familiar? Something warm, comforting, something you probably already have in your kitchen right now? Let's talk about an unexpected bedtime hero, the humble egg. 2 eggs, not just for breakfast anymore. You probably grew up starting your mornings with a couple of eggs. Scrambled, poached, maybe over easy with toast and a cup of black coffee. But eggs before bed? That sounds strange, right? That's what Lean thought too. She's 68, retired nurse, always cheerful. The kind who brings fruit trays to church gatherings. She once told me with a laugh, I get up and my legs wobble like cooked spaghetti. She wasn't in pain, but she didn't feel grounded, didn't feel strong. She was skipping nighttime snacks, thinking it would help her sleep better. We made 1 small shift, 1 soft-boiled egg about an hour before bed, nothing more. 2 weeks later, she told me, I actually feel stable in the morning, like my legs remembered how to stand. So why do eggs help? Well, eggs are what we call a complete protein. They contain all the essential building blocks your muscles need to repair and grow stronger. But more than that, they're rich in something called leucine, an amino acid that literally switches on your body's muscle-building response. Think of it like this. You can give your body all the raw materials it needs. But without leucine, it's like leaving the construction site without a foreman. Nothing gets built. And here's where it really matters. As we age, our bodies become less responsive to small amounts of protein. What used to be enough at 30 isn't always enough at 60 or 70. We need more quality protein, especially in the evening when our bodies go into repair mode. Just 1 large egg has about 6 grams of protein and enough leucine to make a difference. And if you're someone who eats lightly at dinner or skips protein entirely, this could be the gentle boost your muscles need. No need for shakes or supplements, just something warm, simple, and familiar. Now, I know what you're thinking. But aren't eggs bad for cholesterol? That's an important question. But the research today shows that for most people, 1 egg per day is safe and may even help raise your good HDL cholesterol. Of course, always follow your doctor's guidance. But if they haven't told you to avoid eggs, you're likely in the clear. Here's how to try it. Soft-boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled in olive oil are best. They're easy to digest, gentle on your stomach, and still packed with nutrition. Avoid frying in butter or loading on salt, especially if you're watching your blood pressure. And if chewing is hard for you, good news. A soft egg is one of the easiest proteins to eat. No jaw strain, just nourishment. So there you have it. 1 egg, 1 hour before bed. A small act of care with a big impact on strength and balance. But if you're someone who prefers a little crunch, or you're looking for something plant-based that still supports muscle and sleep, let me introduce you to a tiny green seed that's packing a powerful nighttime punch. 3. Pumpkin seeds. The tiny crunch with a big impact. You know those mornings when you stretch and your legs still feel tight? You walked the day before. You didn't overdo it, but you wake up stiff, like your muscles never truly relaxed overnight. Harold, a retired gardener I know, once put it perfectly. It feels like my legs worked the night shift without me. Turns out, Harold wasn't missing sleep. He was missing magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that helps your muscles unclench so they can actually rest while you do. Without enough of it, your body may stay in a low-level state of tension all night long. That's why even after 8 hours of sleep, you can still feel sore and tight in the morning. Now, where do you get magnesium in a way that's easy and natural? Pumpkin seeds. Yep, those little green seeds, also known as pepitas, that you might have seen sprinkled on salads or in trail mix. They're not just tasty, they're powerful. Just 1 ounce, about a small handful, can give you over a third of your daily magnesium needs. And that's not all. Pumpkin seeds also contain tryptophan, an amino acid your body uses to make serotonin and melatonin. In plain terms, they help calm your mind and body and support deeper, more restful sleep. And when you sleep better, your body releases more growth hormone, which is key for rebuilding and protecting your muscles. It's all connected. Plus, pumpkin seeds offer around 7 grams of plant-based protein per ounce. That means they keep feeding your muscles throughout the night, slowly, gently, just as your body needs. So how can you try them? Simple. Have 1 to 2 tablespoons of unsalted pumpkin seeds about an hour before bed. You can eat them plain, or mix them into a bit of plain Greek yogurt for added protein. If you'd like, you can lightly toast them in a dry pan to bring out their nutty flavor. Just skip the salt and oil if you're watching your blood pressure. And if you're someone concerned about men's health, especially testosterone levels, here's another bonus. Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, a mineral that supports hormone balance and cell repair. It's a small food, but it does a whole lot of good. Harold added them to his nightly routine. Nothing fancy, just a spoonful after brushing his teeth. Within a couple of weeks, he told me, I still stretch in the morning, but now it feels like my muscles had a chance to truly rest. So if you're craving something with a little crunch and a whole lot of muscle-friendly magic, pumpkin seeds may be your perfect bedtime bite. But what if your body needs something creamy, something quiet, something that keeps working long after you've closed your eyes? Let's take a look at the unsung hero of nighttime nutrition. Cottage cheese. 4. Cottage cheese, the silent overnight muscle booster. You ever wake up and feel like your legs didn't get the memo that you were supposed to be resting? Not in pain exactly, just unsteady. Climbing the stairs takes a little longer. Getting out of the car requires both hands. You pause, take a breath, and think, when did this get so hard? That's exactly how Martha felt. She's 76, sharp as a tack, and still drives herself to the library every Tuesday. But not long ago, she told me, I've been going to bed early, eating my greens, doing everything right. So why do I still feel like I'm falling apart in the morning? The answer wasn't about what she was doing during the day. It was what her body was missing at night. You see, while we sleep, our bodies go into repair mode. Muscles rebuild, tissues recover. But for that to happen, your body needs a steady supply of amino acids, the tiny building blocks of muscle. And if you don't have enough in your bloodstream overnight, your body can actually start breaking down muscle to keep up with other needs. That's the last thing you want, especially after 60. That's where cottage cheese comes in. It's not fancy, it's not flashy, but it contains something incredibly valuable: casein protein. Unlike other proteins that digest quickly, casein digests slowly, releasing amino acids into your bloodstream over several hours. That means while you're resting, deep in dreamland, your muscles are still quietly being nourished. It's like giving your body a slow, steady IV drip of recovery. Just a few spoonfuls of low-fat cottage cheese about 30 minutes before bed can make a real difference. Martha gave it a try. She didn't love the texture at first. "Looks like lumpy yogurt," she joked, but she added a few slices of banana, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and made it part of her evening routine. 3 weeks later, she said, "I don't know what happened, but my legs feel like they're on my side again. Getting up feels easier." And there's more good news. Cottage cheese is naturally low in carbohydrates and won't spike your blood sugar. Perfect for folks managing diabetes or insulin sensitivity. If you're watching sodium, opt for low-sodium versions. They're easy to find now. And for heart health, go with 1% or low-fat varieties to keep saturated fat in check. Here's a quick tip. Don't think of it as a meal. Think of it as a signal to your body: here's what you need. Take your time. I've got you covered tonight. So if you're looking for something easy, gentle, and deeply effective, cottage cheese might just be the bedtime companion your muscles have been waiting for. And now that we've explored these 4 quiet but powerful foods, let's step back for a moment and talk about something just as important: when you eat, and how much. Because sometimes it's not what you eat, it's when you eat it that makes all the difference. 5. Why timing and portion size matter more than you think. You ever get up in the middle of the night feeling too full or strangely hungry? Maybe you had a slice of pie too late, or maybe you skipped dinner thinking it'd help you sleep better. Either way, your body didn't rest the way it was supposed to. I hear it all the time. "I thought eating late was bad for you," or "I didn't want to go to bed on a full stomach." And those are fair concerns. But here's the thing. It's not just about eating late. It's about what and how much you eat before bed, and when you eat it. You see, your body is incredibly smart. It wants to repair itself overnight, but it needs the right materials, at the right time, in the right amount. Eating a big, heavy dinner too close to bedtime? That can overwhelm your digestion and keep you up. But skipping food entirely? That can leave your muscles without the fuel they need to recover, especially as we get older. There's a sweet spot. And for most older adults, it looks like this: a light, protein-rich snack about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Not a full meal, not a sugar bomb, just something small and nourishing. Think: 1 soft-boiled egg, a couple spoonfuls of cottage cheese, a handful of pumpkin seeds, 2 ripe kiwis. Each of these supports your body without weighing it down. Let me tell you about Denise. She's 71 and volunteers at her local senior center. She used to eat dinner at 5 p.m. and then nothing until morning. She told me, "I figured my stomach needed a break," but she was waking up sore and foggy. We added 1 gentle snack, just a boiled egg and half a kiwi around 8:30 p.m. Within days, she noticed deeper sleep and less stiffness in the morning. It wasn't about eating more. It was about eating smarter. So here's your simple rule: light, clean, and timed right. Aim for small portions of sleep-friendly foods about an hour before bed. And listen to your body. If you feel too full, try a little less next time. If you're still waking up stiff, try a touch more protein. The key isn't perfection, it's consistency. And speaking of consistency, in the next part, let's look at the deeper truth that so many of us were never told. That muscle loss after 60 is not inevitable. It's not just getting older, it's something you can actually reverse. Let's talk about how. 6. The truth about aging muscles. It's not too late. You've probably heard it 100 times. It's just part of getting older. Your doctor says it, your friends say it, even you might have said it, when your legs felt weak, when the stairs felt steeper, or when the jar lid just wouldn't budge. But here's what most people don't tell you. Losing muscle after 60 isn't just age. It's not inevitable. It's not permanent. And it's not too late to turn things around. Your body still wants to rebuild. It's wired to repair and renew, no matter how many birthdays you've had. The challenge is, as we age, we become less responsive to small amounts of protein or short bursts of activity. We need a bit more intention, a little more care. But the payoff, it's real. There's a study from Tufts University that followed older adults who started adding strength-friendly habits into their routine, like light resistance exercise and nighttime protein. Even those in their 70s and 80s regained muscle mass, improved balance, and walked with more confidence within just 8 to 12 weeks. Think about that. In 2 to 3 months, your legs could feel stronger. Your arms could feel steadier. Your body could feel like it's working with you again, not against you. It's not about lifting weights at the gym or changing your whole lifestyle overnight. It's about tiny choices, done consistently. A kiwi before bed, a boiled egg, a short walk after lunch. Simple things, done with care. I once met a man named Frank at a community potluck. He was 79 and had just started using a cane. He said, "I feel like I'm fading away." We talked about his meals, his sleep, his routines. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He just wasn't giving his muscles what they needed to stay alive. So we made a plan, one change at a time. More protein in the evening, light stretching before bed, a little more water. By the time the next potluck came around, Frank walked in without his cane. "Still got it," he smiled. So yes, age brings changes. But it doesn't mean giving up strength or balance or the joy of feeling steady on your feet. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're just getting started, with better tools. Now that we understand the truth about aging muscles, let's go deeper into what makes all of this work. Because it's not just about food. It's about how we turn small acts into daily rituals that truly restore us. 7. The power of consistency. Not supplements, but rituals. You know how some folks take a dozen supplements every morning? Vitamin this, capsule that, hoping for a quick fix. And then the bottles pile up, but nothing really changes. I've been there. You probably have too. We try. We mean well. But after a while, we wonder, is any of this actually helping? Here's something I've learned again and again. It's not the big things we do once. It's the small things we do every day that bring real, lasting change. Your muscles, they don't need a miracle powder. They need steady signals. I'm here. I'm nourishing you. I haven't given up on you. And that's where rituals come in. Not rules, not routines that feel like chores, but small, meaningful habits done with care. Like peeling 2 kiwis while your favorite jazz station plays, boiling an egg while you brush your teeth, sprinkling pumpkin seeds onto yogurt as you turn down the lights. It's not just about the nutrients. It's the message you send your body. You matter. Your recovery matters. Your strength still matters. Take Irene, a former elementary school teacher from Kansas. She once told me, "I used to feel like my health was slipping through my fingers. But now, I have a bedtime ritual. Every night, she lays out a little plate, half a banana, a spoon of cottage cheese, and her journal. She eats slowly, writes one thing she's grateful for, and sleeps deeper than she has in years. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened because she kept going. So, what's a ritual you can start tonight? Keep it simple. Pick one of the 4 bedtime foods we've talked about. Set aside a quiet 10 minutes. Let it be your way of saying, "This is for me," because strength isn't built in a day. It's built in the gentle moments you repeat with love and intention. Now, as we begin to wind down this journey together, let's pause and reflect on what it truly means to care for your body at night. Not with pressure or fear, but with peace, trust, and a quiet kind of confidence. Let's talk about what this all adds up to, and how you can end your day with a sense of calm strength, knowing you're rebuilding while you rest. 8. Final reflections. How to protect your health without fear. It's late evening. The house is quiet. The dishes are done, the news has played, and the sun has long since dipped behind the trees. You sit in your favorite chair, maybe with a blanket over your legs, and you start to think about tomorrow, about your body, your strength, about how different things feel now than they did 20 years ago. And maybe, just maybe, you wonder, is it too late? Can I really do something now that makes a difference? Let me tell you something I deeply believe. Yes, you can. You don't need to live in fear of your health. You don't need to brace for decline like it's a storm you can't stop. Because the truth is, your body is still listening, still responding, still healing. The problem is, we've spent decades being told that aging equals weakness, that muscle loss is just part of the deal. But that's not the whole story. What your body really needs, especially now, isn't more pills or perfect routines or guilt about what you didn't do yesterday. What it needs is kindness, consistency, and small acts of care that stack up over time. Think about it. You don't brush your teeth once a week. You don't water your garden only when the leaves wilt. You show up every day because you know it matters. Your body is the same. Every spoonful of cottage cheese, every boiled egg, every bite of kiwi before bed. That's you sending a message. I'm not giving up on you. And your body, it hears you. I've seen it time and again. Folks in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, starting small, staying steady, and waking up with more balance, better sleep, and brighter mornings. So if there's one thing I hope you take from this, it's this. You are not broken. You are rebuilding. And you can protect your health, gently, wisely, without fear. Now, as you settle in for the night, let's wrap this journey together with a quiet thought. How would it feel to end each day knowing your body is being cared for? That as you sleep, you're not losing strength. You're gaining it, one calm breath at a time. In our final chapter, I'll show you how to turn all of this into a gentle nightly rhythm. A way to close the day with peace, purpose, and the kind of nourishment that truly lasts. 9. Closing chapter. A gentle routine for stronger mornings. It's the end of the day. The sky is dimming. The television is softly humming in the background. And you're moving a little slower now. Folding a blanket, turning off a light, brushing your teeth. It's quiet. And for a brief moment, you pause and wonder, did I do anything today that truly helped my body? That question matters, not because you need to do more, but because small, thoughtful actions, especially in the evening, can carry your health farther than any big resolution ever could. You see, your nighttime routine doesn't need to be long or complicated. It just needs to be gentle, consistent, and kind. Here's why. While you sleep, your body works hard behind the scenes, rebuilding muscle, restoring energy, and calming your nervous system. But it can only do those things if you give it the right tools before you close your eyes. That's where a simple evening routine comes in. Not a to-do list, not another health chore, just a calming rhythm to tell your body, it's time to heal now. Here's a version many folks have tried and loved. 7:30 p.m., light dinner, something easy on digestion, maybe soup, roasted veggies, or grilled fish. 9 p.m., small bedtime snack, 2 kiwis, or 1 boiled egg, or 1 to 2 TBSP pumpkin seeds, or a few spoonfuls of low-fat cottage cheese. 9:30 p.m., turn down lights, sip herbal tea, like chamomile or lemon balm. 9:45 p.m., gentle stretches, 2 to 3 minutes, slow breathing. 10 p.m., in bed, no screens, maybe soft music, or a short devotional reading. That's it. It's not about being perfect every night. It's about creating a pattern your body can trust. Some nights, you might just do one of these things. Other nights, maybe all 5. But every time you do, even just one small act, you're reinforcing the message, I care about my body, I want to wake up stronger. One of my favorite reminders came from a woman named Clara, 82, who began her bedtime ritual just last winter. She smiled and said, my body may be older, but it still listens, especially when I speak to it with kindness. So tonight, give your body a small sign that you care. Peel that kiwi, boil that egg, light a candle, take one slow breath, then another. Let your evening be less about doing and more about honoring the strength that's still within you. Because after 60, health doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from listening deeper, from choosing softness over stress, and from trusting that small acts, done with love, still matter. If this video brought you comfort or offered something new to try, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share what bedtime ritual works for you, or which one you're curious to begin. Your story might inspire someone else in this wonderful community. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more gentle, uplifting guidance designed for this season of life. We've got more meaningful insights coming your way, practical, encouraging, and made with care. Until next time, rest well, eat kindly, and wake up knowing you're rebuilding one peaceful night at a time.